the car, it was really exciting, and it was just like, whoa, the way it moves and everything. It's really crazy. Now you go in the car and just touch the pedal, it just like it moves, right? But it's really exciting. You get this adrenaline, and what happens is that the next morning you wake up and you look at your car, just like, what a beautiful thing this is. You know, you appreciate it a lot, and you look at it and just like, man, no one better touch this car, right? So you're just all excited, and you look at the car, and before you go to bed, you look at the car again, like, man, you know, that is a great achievement. That is a nice car, right? And then we bought a Porsche afterwards. So now we have an R8 and a Porsche. I was just like, that looks good in the driveway, right? That looks really good. So it was really exciting, right? It was really exciting. And after like 6 months or so, it wasn't the same excitement no more. For some weird reason, it wasn't the same excitement no more. Like it just gradually just became a normal car. It's just like just a normal car. So what we did do, we got rid of one of them, right? Then we got rid of the other one. Then we decided to change the taste and go for a Range Rover now. Yeah, so we're like the Range Rover fan now, right? So now we just had to change it because we just like, you know, we got bored of that one. Let's go for a different one. But there's one thing I understand about things like phone, for example. We use it so much other than just speaking on the phone, because there's so many different apps we're downloading. We do many different things, but yet we never get bored of these phones. Like we do, but not to that extent. You know, we still got the phone. We still use it for a year or two sometimes, and then we go for the new one. And the good thing about technology is the same way when it comes to wearable technology, especially Helo, it's really crazy the way it's heading towards and the amount of updates that's coming on, right? So guys, if you can see my slides right now, just put your thumbs up, you know, put your thumbs up if you can see my slides. Okay, all right. Yes. Can you see my slides? If you can, just say yes. That way I know for sure you can see my slides. Someone write in the chat box.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. You can see it. Perfect. Okay, guys. So first of all, I wanna welcome you guys all to this call. This is really important. This training actually wanted to give you guys for the last few days. And right now I'm in Dubai. Yeah, I'm in Dubai. And the good thing about this business is that it doesn't matter wherever you are. You come here in your holidays. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Just spare an hour, and you can actually do it from anywhere and everywhere, right? And that's the fun part about this home-based business, especially world. So today my topic is I want to speak to you guys about a really important topic, and it's called vision, right? It's a very, very important topic, and this is what actually got us to where we are today. And I just want to quickly share with you briefly about my story for those of you that actually we haven't met before, or for those of you that actually don't know me. I've come from a background where I was employed all my life. I was actually employed by someone, and I was working for someone. And then for 5 years, I was a chef. So I used to cook in a restaurant, right? So don't ask me to cook for you, but I used to cook. And then from then on, I never used to, I was like, you know, I was just passing by. I was just passing by. I never really enjoyed it. It was just something that was running our family, and they said, you got to become a chef. That's just the way it is. If there's anyone who's Bengali and on this call right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In our culture, all they teach us, especially in UK, just go become a chef, right? Work in a restaurant. It's like a culture kind of thing. And I said, okay, you know what? I don't want to be in that culture. It's not the kind of life I want. I work 6 days a week. I do 60 hours. I do 60 hours a week, sometimes more. And it's not the life that I choose. I want more freedom. So what I did is that I wanted to be self-employed. And then I started working as a taxi driver. Now, being a taxi driver, I never used to like it. So I decided to upgrade myself, and I became a chauffeur afterwards. Now, it's just same thing. It's just a better terms, right? So I started driving for people and stuff. And I was doing that for about 5 years. And one thing I realized, although I was being my own boss, I actually didn't have the time freedom. I wasn't making much money. It was okay. It was just, again, passing by, paying my bills, right? How many people can relate to me? Just paying my bills, just passing by. Every single month we pay our bills, and then guess what? The next month it's like we have to think about work. Otherwise, guess what? We can't live, right? We have to go to work. And that was really my life, to be honest with you. And I knew there was a better way other than just being a taxi driver. So what I had to do is that I said, okay, to my brother, I said, we're going to open an online business. And we started an online business, consumer online business, right? So we're like importing and exporting and stuff. We're doing those kind of things. And we did that for about 6 months. And then our business our business shut down. It wasn't going the way we planned that it would. And guys, we were struggling a lot because I had a full-time job, plus I had a business on side. The time was very, very small amount of time that I had because I already do 72 hours a week in my taxi job, right? And on top of that, I am on it. This is real. Okay. On top of that, right? I have my online business, which I have to put a lot of time in, a lot of dedication into it, right? So my brother Moin, he used to work as well, and I used to drag him in and try and do that. And guys, did that for 6 months, and the whole business just suddenly just disappeared. Why? I don't know. It just didn't work. Then we started again. We started the business again, and guess what? We were doing that because we somehow felt that was the right thing to do. Okay, that was the right business to do because we didn't know anything better out there. So my brother Moin came across this industry called network marketing. Came across this industry and it actually blew our mind away completely because it felt like we've been looking for this all our life. So we got excited, we got involved in it. And for 2 years, we didn't really get the success we were looking for. And we're working hard consistently. Now, I'm not going to go in too much in detail the struggles we went through because we went through a lot of struggles in that 2 years. And what I want to tell you guys is that the only reason why we kept on going for 2 years is because we had something called a vision, right? We said one day is going to be like this. One day is going to be my day. One day I'm going to have this. One day we're going to have this. One day we're going to have that, right? And it was that kind of vision. And at the same time, what I want to tell you guys that in the beginning, we didn't have that vision. It took time to develop for us to have our own kind of vision. But in the beginning, we had to buy into someone else's vision. We had to buy into someone else's vision. We had to buy into someone. Okay, someone that we were inspired by, someone that we like, we had to buy into that. And we're sold out to the vision until we had our own. Until today, I always like to follow bigger vision, especially we're part of the movement, World Global Network, and that's what I'm about to talk to you guys about right now. Okay, so if I go to the next slide, Moin, if you can help me in the slide for me, bro. Okay, so what I want to tell you guys is that this is a quote, and it's a very, very powerful quote. And write this down because these quotes, they're really, really touching, this one. It says, vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. Write this down, guys. Write this. This is a very powerful quote. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. You see, most people lack vision. Most people. And you see, what it is because a lot of times we hear people talk about vision. We hear about visionaries and they done this and they done that. But I believe, this is my opinion, I believe everybody has something in them and everybody has a dream where they want to go. It's just they don't have the courage inside of them to say that I can do it and let's do it. But everybody has something. We all have something in us. So right now, so if I go to the next slide. If I can click, okay. It said, if you can take a look, for example, Bill Gates, for example. And here's an example of Bill Gates. He said Microsoft was founded with a vision of a computer on every desk in every home. We've never wavered from that vision. He said from that day one, he had that vision that every household will have a computer on their desk and he stuck with it. Although so many people laughed at him, he had a vision that he said that the online, the internet will take over all these shops that you see out there. They'll all be replaced by the internet. And people said that it's going to be, people have to touch, taste, and feel and wear to see if this is the right thing they want. People will never go online. People always prefer the physical stores. Guess what? Today we have so many places right now that are online. Everything moving to online. Guess what? People laughed at Alibaba. They thought he was the Joker, some clown. Guess what? He's the last person laughing today, right? If I can go to the next slide. And here's a good quote by Steve Jobs. He said, if you're working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. If you're working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. How many of you on this call right now, you feel like sometimes you've been pushed to do something? And just be honest to yourself. Be honest to yourself. Do you feel like you've been pushed? Do you feel like your upline have to chase you to do something? See, if you genuinely care about your dreams, you genuinely care about where you want to go in life, listen, no one has to drag you. No one has to push you. It's the self-driven attitudes. You have a different kind of motivation inside of you. Why? Because you have the why and you know where you're heading to. If I can go to the next slide. Now I want to talk about our vision. I want to talk about Fabio's vision. You see, guys, in the beginning, you may not have the vision right now, where you want to achieve. You may not have the vision of where you want to go. But if you can follow, if you can be a follower to start with, if you can just see where Fabio's taking this to. Fabio has a vision, just like Bill Gates had a vision, just like Steve Jobs had a vision, just like Alibaba had a vision. See, everyone, all those big people out there, all those billionaires, multi, they all had a vision. See, Bill Gates, you only see Bill Gates. That's all you see. But you see, with Bill Gates, there's so many other people became successful because of Microsoft. How many people agree on that? Because of Bill Gates' courage, other people succeeded so much just because of his one decision. Just because he had the courage to continue, other people succeeded. Just because he had the vision, guess what? Other people bought into his vision. And that's why so many people created maximum wealth, because they followed Bill Gates' vision. Just like Steve Jobs, all we see is Steve Jobs. But do you know how many other people became successful because of Apple? Do you know how many people became successful because of Apple shares? It's incredible. So many people. There is so many big corporations out there. You only see the CEO, but you don't see the people who's behind there that also become successful. And guys, we have the chance. We have the chance not to be only successful, but to be recognized all over the world with Fabio. Because this is why we're part of this industry, that we get recognition alongside of what we do. This is what makes us different. And Fabio is someone who genuinely cares for us. He genuinely does care for us. And this is what he said. He said, to reach success is not about luck or by accident, but the natural consequence of working constantly and with determination. And that's what he has. If you have seen him on stage in Bangkok, he was on stage for hours after hours after hours. You can see his dedication towards the network, towards the company. And that's what inspires me. That's what moves me. I follow Fabio's vision. Do you follow his vision? What is his vision? If I can go to the next slide. And this is one of the few things I just want to share. And I wrote this down myself. And this is one of the things that this is what Fabio wants to do. And this is why he shared it so many times. But he has many other things that he wants to achieve. And one other thing is he wants WGN to be the #1 wearable technology company in the world. He wants that to happen. This is his vision. He wants that company to be the #1 wearable technology company in the world. Let me tell you guys something. This industry is predicted to be over 60 billion. Over 60 billion past 2020. And we believe it's going to be more than that because it's heading towards that direction right now. If Fabio's goal is to be the #1 technology company, wearable technology company in the industry, and if you and I have the chance to have a pie of that, where could your life be? What kind of freedom could you possibly provide for yourself and for your families? You see, this is what Fabio wants. But you see, with him, we can achieve our dreams and goals. See, he wants to provide a solution. Now, I want you guys to write this down and put it somewhere, because this is what you're working towards. See, you and I are part of this domination. You and I are going to make a difference. Fabio can't do it just by himself. We are the one moving with Fabio. And he cares for us. He wants us to move with him. Now, listen to this. He wants to provide a solution to maintain a quality lifestyle with health and wealth. Let that sink in for a minute, guys. He wants to provide a solution to maintain a quality lifestyle with health and wealth. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what I mean by that. I want you guys to write these two things down. This line is very important because I'm going to come back to you in this training. And how he's doing that. How is he doing that? Is this just a line, or is there a lot of meaning behind that line? He's going to provide us, he wants to provide a solution to maintain a quality lifestyle with health and wealth. He wants to reach 1 million users by the end of 2017. He wants at least 1 million people to be wearing Helo by the end of 2017. How many of them are going to be from your team? This is just by end of 2017. You want to take this company to $1 billion company by the end of 2018. $1 billion company. What if it reaches $500 million? What if it reaches 2 billion? And what if you're a president millionaire in the company and you hold shares in the company? What if you're president in the company and you own share in this company? What if that part of that volume, that 2 billion volume or 1 billion volume is coming from your organization? What if 1% of that is coming from your organization? What if 5% coming from your organization? Now I want to ask you guys a question. Do you believe with or without us, with or without you, there will be people in World Global Network who's going to be responsible for bringing in the 5 or 10% of the volume in the company? Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that there are people in this company, and there are going to be people coming in this company after you, after us, who's going to be owning, who's going to be responsible for bringing in 10, 15, 20% volume? Do you guys believe that? Do you believe you can be one of them? Do you believe you can be one of them? I believe you can. I believe I can. I believe we can do it. With his vision, we can all move towards that vision and have the things we want to have, achieve the things we want to achieve. Now I want to go to the next slide, and here's what I want to talk about. here's what I want to talk about on the next slide. You see, I'm not going to talk about all the things that's coming up on the application because I believe we have so many developers on the queue right now that are waiting to get the application on the market. But Fabio's not ready to take them on board yet. Why? Because there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of technical side of things that he has to see, he has to go through. That's why right now he's not taking them in. I want to talk about not those applications that's coming in. I know there's so many great things coming, but I just want to talk about one thing. So out of the whole list that you see right now, I want to talk about one thing. I want to talk about, out of those ones, I just want to talk about a few other ones briefly. Alcohol sensor. Do you think right now there's technology out there that reads alcohol in your body? Do you think it's out there? Yes, it is out there. Do you think there's wearable devices that has alcohol sensor monitors? Maybe. Maybe. But what does that mean for you? I don't know if it is. We can do our research. Maybe. But what does that mean for you? Not much. Not much. You can be a customer, but not much. That's about it. Yes, it will help you if you drink a lot. This will help you. Oxygenation. Now, fertility prediction. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now, if you want to go in details about it, go do some research and see how much this will impact people emotionally. Emotionally. I'm talking about human emotion. I'm talking about how many people will be in tears knowing something like that exists and out there they can actually benefit from. Flu detection. Mosquito shield. Now, I want to talk to you guys purely today about only one thing that I know that's going to be dominating the entire market, and that's called glucose measurement, diabetes. Now, if you guys can read this, and if you can't read this, take a screenshot of it. Type 1 diabetes, the top one. How does diabetes affect quality of life? Remember, Fabio wants to provide a quality lifestyle for people, right? How does diabetes affect the quality of life? So he says, none of us enjoy testing our blood, but it is certainly a big help when it comes to getting our blood glucose levels under control. I'm going to show you guys how they do it. For example, you might find yourself asking questions about why you went hypo, such as, did I ask too much? Did I take too much insulin or lunch? Or did I exercise harder than usual? You'll be asking yourself so many of the random questions based on how you feel because your sugar level is down or your sugar level is up. Aspects of life with diabetes that may affect your quality of life include the never-ending demands of diabetes care, such as eating carefully, exercising, monitoring your blood glucose, scheduling and planning, symptoms of low and high blood glucose, fears about or the reality of complications. See, there's a lot of things people go through every single day when you have diabetes. I want to go to the next slide. You see, this is a life of diabetes. This is what they do. Now the technology is advancing, and as you can see, there's like a patch you can see on someone's back of their arm. There's a patch there. This is not any kind of patch. This is a patch that has a needle inside it. So this, what happens is that this patch goes behind the arm, or you can put it in your legs, on your shoulder, and it has needles inside it. So you put it there, and then those needles goes inside it, and it stays there for, you can keep it for 24 hours or something, or 12 hours. You have to change them. And this will be connected to a Bluetooth device on your phone so that you can monitor your blood glucose level, and even then it's not always accurate because they're still working on this project. Right now, people are using it because it helps them. Look at the other ones. Every other hour, maybe, they have to pinch themselves with blood, get blood out of their body, and then check. Do you know kids have diabetes? Imagine the lifestyle they have. People have like, you know, people faint and stuff like that because their blood sugar level is low. People can die from having low blood sugar level. It's crazy. The lifestyle, go Google it, go YouTube and see that type of a lifestyle people have. I mean, does this not touch you guys? I mean, does this not move you guys that we be able to impact over 360 million people around the world? Even a small percentage of it. Out of 365 million, if we touch 1%, how many million is that? If we touch 1%, that's over 3 million people. Imagine impacting 1 million people just on that. If I can go to the next slide. So guys, I want to talk about why World Global Network right now is the right business for us. Why this is the right business for us. You see, if you take a look at the top successful business people in the world, such as Bill Gates, this is his own quote. He says, if I would be given a chance to start all over again, I would choose network marketing. If you're new to network marketing, it's an amazing, amazing industry. And I want to educate you guys today briefly about what you're involved in. Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote the book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you get some time, read that book. I would recommend getting that book. And that book really teaches you how to create wealth and how rich people think and how poor people think. He said the richest people in the world look for and are building networks, and everyone else is just looking for work. This is his quote. So today I want to educate you guys. Why should you build World Global Network, and why this could be the right business for you? Why this is one of the best thing out there right now. So in this world, there's 4 categories. You have the employed people, you have the self-employed people. They're on the left side, and on the right side, you have the business owners and you have the investors. Employed are the people, they exchange their time for money. They get paid by an hour. If they stop working, they stop getting paid. They have to work to get paid. They have to get work paid. They have to repeat the cycle of life for 40 years, non-stop. Work, pay, no work, no money, no bills paid. Self-employed are the people, they want to be their own boss because they don't like having a boss. So they work for themselves. But what happens is that they become worse than an employee because rather than them owning the business owns them, which is also a very hard life. That's the left side. That's the easy part to choose, right? Then you have on the right side, which is the big business owners. You know, you have like Bill Gates, you know, McDonald's, franchises, big businesses in the world right now that we know of, Apple. And then you have the investors. So the big business are the ones, they basically have people working hard for them and making them money. Something called leverage. Rather than them working all the time, they have people working with them or working for them. And then you have the investors. Investors are the people with their money. They have a lot of money and they're able to get their money to work for them. So the money works for them. So today I want to share with you guys how in World Global Network, you're on the right side and not on the left side. If you want to be on the wealthy category, on the 5% of the category in the world, then World Global Network can provide that. And it has been providing it, and it can provide that for you as well. So if I can go to the next slide. So if you want to open a traditional business, it'll cost you like $10,000, $50,000. Most businesses shut down within their first year. So I know many people, like my family, they're from restaurant backgrounds and stuff. So they open up restaurant businesses. And guess what? In restaurant businesses, within the first year, out of 10, okay, 9 of them closes. Restaurant businesses. That's how bad it is. Indian restaurant business, at least that I know of. So restaurant businesses is you borrow money from the bank and you open your restaurant or you put your own money in, and guess what? $50,000 or $100,000 you invest in, and guess what? The chances of you succeeding in it is still very small margin. So you have a huge, like 90% or 80% risk that you're taking that you can actually lose it all. And like many people have been. So the other option, you have franchise. Okay, franchises work a bit different. Franchises, they're already established. They're already established. You just go invest your money in there and you open up one. So here's one. McDonald's franchise. It cost around $2.5 million to open the doors of a McDonald's franchise. Baskin Robbins, America, Baskin Robbins, okay, is $400,000, just a shy of $400,000. Sports Clips, $75,000. Subway, $262,000 to $1.2 million, depends on the location. Jersey Mike's, $579,000. Express Oil Change, up if you like to, change oil, up to $1.8 million. Ace Hardware, $1.2 million. If you like to sell wings, you can open Buffalo Wings for $3.2 million for a franchise. So if you have this sort of income, this sort of money, you can go open up one of these. Or get involved with World Global Network. And here's what World Global Network will provide you and provides all of us. It's free to start. So you can write this down. It's free to start. You just simply need to become a product of the product. You need to become a customer. It's like you can't be promoting iPhone all the time when you use Samsung. It doesn't make sense. Next is, again, it's essential and you need it. There's no overhead. You don't need to employ no one. I have no employees. Part-time. There's no risk. You can do this part-time. You can control how busy you are. You can schedule your own time, do it at your own time. It's willable and it's sellable. So you can pass it on to your children for your generation to come. Because World Global Network plans to stay here for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Okay? So it's willable and it's sellable. So if you build a business and right now you're making a lot of money, doing a good turnover, guess what? It's sellable. You can sell it off to someone. You get the best of the best support. You have the team support, okay, which is us, right? All of us together. You get the team support and you get the company support. They handle all regulatory, service relationships, development. So you don't have to worry about the customer care or any of that. You don't have to worry about billing invoices. You don't have to worry about the customer service. They take care of shipping. They take care of everything. And that's as easy as it can get of any business. Name me one business that you can just start like that. This is what World provides. So now I want to talk about residual income. I know there's passive income. I know you can make money in normal businesses, but now I want to talk about residual income, guys. And this is the part you want to pay attention the most, and I'm going to be done with it after that slide. So if I can share that slide, Moin, the next slide, please. So residual income. See, with residual income, if you want to make $500 a month in residual, and let's just say you had that money in a bank. It's very rare you find bank, by the way, they'll give you 1% a year. 1% a month. Very rare you're going to find that. But let's say they gave you 1%. If you had saved in there $600,000, if you have saved $600,000 deposited in your bank, you can get paid residually $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. If you have $600,000, it's in your bank account right now, you'd be getting $500 a month. For you to make $2,000 a month. Now, do you guys know people in World that make $500 a month residually? Do you guys know people in world right now that make $2,000 a month residually? Not the bonus, residually. I mean, every single month they're getting paid, whether they work or they don't work, whether they do anything or they don't do anything, they get paid. Do you know people like that? That make $2,000 a month. I know people like that. For you to make that sort of income, $24,000 a year residually, you need to have $2.4 million deposited in the bank or wherever you're getting the 1% from. For you to make $20,000 a month residually, do you know people in world make $20,000 a month residually? For you to make that sort of income, that's $240,000 a year. $20,000 a month, that's $5,000 a week. $20,000 a month is $240,000 a year residually. You need to have $24 million in saving somewhere, making the 1%. And guess what? The bank only covers up to 75,000. The bank only covers up to 70. So you're putting a lot of money into risk for you to get the money. If you want to make $50,000 a month, do you know people that make $50,000 a month within WOW? I know Chad and Natita. You can go find out yourself how much they make in a month in residual, and believe me, they make a lot more than that in a week. It's a lot of money. For you to make this sort of income residually, you need to have $60 million saved in your bank. So do you guys understand the type of business you're in? It's not a thing, guys. It's not a thing. We're part of a business, guys, that can completely change our future generation. And I want you guys to understand what you have in your hand, because a lot of times we don't understand what we have in our hand. And we pass by as if we're not even in the opportunity. We don't do the work, we pass by. And we see other people becoming successful, and we are literally at the same spot we were in a month ago, and we're still talking about the business, but not doing the business. So today, I have the privilege to pass on to the next individual who's gonna take half an hour of the time to share with you guys what you can do. What is it that you can do to have success in World Global Network? Because I know the applications are coming. I know this company is going fast. I want you guys to succeed. I want us to succeed. I want to impact lives. Do you guys want to impact lives? Do you guys want to help people? Because if that's what you guys want to do, and if you guys understand Fabio's vision, guys, you're in the right place at the right time. So I'm going to pass over to Moin. Hope you guys got some value from this training. God bless you guys, and I'll speak to you guys later. Take care. Thank you, Moin.
Hey everyone, thank you so much. That was an incredible training. It's just as you were going through the training, it just gave me a reminder of what we have on our hand. You know, sometimes you can have gold in your hand, and then the other person can have gold in their hand as well. But sometimes one or other person can treat this like a sand, and one person can actually treat it like gold. So it depends on how you treat this business, or depends on how you treat this goal, will depend on how much result you get. It's good to see all of you here. You know, I love the fact that a lot of you got video on. You know, it always makes me feel more comfortable when I can see you guys. I'm going to share my screen with you, so just bear with me 1 second. Okay, so can you guys see my screen, or is it still the same screen?
No, can't see it.
Can't see it? Okay, just 1 second. Can you see my slides now?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you see the slides or the notes?
Notes.
Okay, but not the slides.
No.
The notes.
Okay, just 1 second. How about now?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
What do you see there? What does it say?
It's like dig your well before you are thirsty.
Okay, right. So it's so simple, right? Dig your well before you are thirsty. This is just a simple line, yet so many of us actually don't do this, don't act this way. You know, we always leave things to the last moment. We always leave things to the last moment. If you want to hit certain rank and you set a goal, but you actually don't do it until it's too late. Like how many of you actually set a goal and didn't actually achieve it? If you can write it on the text, like you set a goal but you didn't achieve your goals. Did this happen to you ever? So no one actually, every time you set a goal, you actually achieve your goals? No? Okay. Okay. So this happened to you. I'll tell you why. It's simply because you're delusional. Okay. Some happens to me. And it's not that bad. It just simply means that you think it takes effort A to achieve your goal, but in reality, it takes 3 times the effort to achieve your goal. So this is why most people actually underestimate what it takes to become successful. So most people underestimate it. You know, people say to me, Moin, what do I have to do? You know, I really want to buy my dream car. I really want to help my mom. And most people want to do those things, but most people are not willing to do whatever it takes for them to achieve those things. And today I'm actually going to share with you a few things. They are so simple, and yet most people don't do it. Most of you don't do it, and I can promise you that. Because the day you start doing those things, it will change everything for you in terms of what you want to achieve. So what is the one most common thing that we face in World Global Network? What's the number one problem we face? And there's many problems we face, you can say, or many challenges that you face. Like, oh, I don't have enough people to talk to. If you don't have enough people to talk to, it's mainly because it's a list problem. You don't have a decent, good enough list. If you're saying I'm not making money, again, it's a list problem. I can't get anybody to say yes to this business. Again, it's a list problem. I can't get people to show up on a Zoom. I can't get people to show up on a meeting. Again, it's a list problem. Most problem in world right now, in World Global Network, is to do with the list. It's because most people are doing a very bad job at creating a list. Now imagine if you write a list of 40 people and you invite 40 people and 20 show up. And as you are going through the list, as you're going through your 20, what are you thinking in your mind? You're thinking, what am I going to do when my list runs out? So what do you have to do? Well, you have to create a large list. Now, how many people should be on your list? And this might sound a very big deal to some of you, but I'm going to show you, if you follow the steps, I'm going to show you how to make your list bigger. You need to create a list of 1,000 people. So let me ask this question to you guys. How many of you actually have a list of 1,000 people? If you can say yes or no on the chat, so I know who I'm talking to. How many of you actually have a list of 1,000 people?
No.
No, no. Anyone have a list of 1,000 people? Sorry, what? No.
I am almost there.
Almost there. Awesome. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. No. You see, most people, I have a list of 1,000 people. I can raise my hands. I actually spent about 2 days writing that list. Well, of course, I did activity at the same time. I spent a lot of time actually writing my list. Now, look at my mindset. Right now, I have a list of 1,000 people. I'm thinking, when the hell am I going to finish this list? How am I going to finish this list? But imagine you have 50 people on your list. What are you thinking? What am I going to do when I run out of the list? You see the big difference, the big mindset shift. You see, when you have a small list, when you have something called chicken list, right? Small, and you're not expanding your list, and you don't have a big list, you're very needy. When you're going out then speaking to people, the neediness people can feel. It's the law of energy. It's the energy that flows. The way you speak will be different if you have a massive, massive list. Now, when I have 1,000 lists, my only job is to actually get people off the list. So I'm constantly contacting people, and my only job is to get them off the list, because I don't care what people may think when I'm contacting them. My goal is way bigger than what people think. I don't care what people think, because those 1,000 people are not going to pay your bills. You know, if you go to the bank and deposit what they think, nothing will happen. So you have to understand is that your job is not to get people to say yes or no. Your job is to literally go through the list. And when am I going to take people off the list? When they say, Moin, I don't like you, I hate you, don't ever call me. That's when I'm taking them off the list, guys. Now, here's the thing. When you are creating a list, there's a few things you need to remember. You need to write the name, and you need to write the number, and you need to write their occupation, what they actually do on the list. Okay? So how do you find a list? First of all, you need to go to your phone and see how many people you have on your phone. So if I can have people write on the text, how many people you actually have on your phone. If you can write on the text, how many people you actually have. I don't care if you know them properly or not, they're just on your phone. How many numbers do you have on your phone? Okay, 800 people. Okay, Michael, do you know that your 800 people can easily turn into 2,000 people? Easily, like this. Anyone else? How many numbers do you have? Come on, guys. I see no chat. 540. Okay. 1,200. Wow, this is crazy, guys.
Instead of the light to come to the bed, we started doing another.
280 people. Sam, do you know your 280 people can easily turn into 800 people? Easily 800 people. If you guys do what I'm going to tell you to do right now, you just need to do it. And if you do, you'll turn your list into 1,000 people, those of you who do not have. Now, this is what you need to do. First of all, when you have the list, you need to write it down. Once you write it down, guys, what you need to do is you need to think about who they know. But before you need to think about who they know, you need to use something called memory jogger. Can you guys see my screen? Something called memory jogger. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now here's what you need to do. First of all, you need to write the people that you know, and the people that you know are your warm market. When I mean that people you know, it doesn't mean they are your best friend. It doesn't mean that you work with them. The people that you work with, the people that you know about, the people that you hang around with, your cousin, your friends' friends, they are your hot market. I'm talking about warm market. Who are your warm market? Well, warm market are the people that you went to kindergarten with. So I really need you guys to stay in the warm market and not jump into cold market straight away. Because warm market is your biggest asset. If you went to a primary school with someone and you haven't been in touch with them for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, they are still your warm market. So as you go through this list, you can see the things that it says on there. It says your former coach, your former co-worker, your former roommates, your former teacher, people in your hometown, previous neighbors, military, retired co-workers, schoolmates, who was your boss, people that you sold things to, people that they sold you things, okay? People that you have done business with. They are all your warm market. Now, here's what I need to tell you guys. You need to organize your list that the people who are the most influential, you want to put them at the top. And then you want to go through this memory jogger and write every single people down. Now, you're not writing them down, not necessarily to recruit them. You're going to write them down because here's the thing. You'll realize that you won't be able to go on your 1,000 list and you'll probably be a president millionaire before you get to your 1,000 list. You'll be a president millionaire before you go through 1,000 lists, but it's important they are on your list. It's very, very important you understand this. Now, the next thing you need to do, guys, is that you need to go on your Facebook. Most of you have more than 200 people on your Facebook, yet most of you don't have a list of 200 people. How does that even make sense? If they're on your Facebook, and if you know the first name, and if you don't have the number, all you have to do is message them and say, hey, listen, I lost your number, or I don't have your number. Here's my number. I need to speak to you about something. If you give them your number, most likely they will give their number to you back as well. But it's important you do this. You give your number first, because if you ask them for their number, you'll get a lot of people may not give out their number straight away. But of course, there's always going to be people who are not going to give their numbers out. So you need to go to all kinds of social media and go through every single one of them and write them down. After you do this, you need to go through the contact list and ask yourself this question. John is my best friend, but who does John know? Jack is my school teacher, but who does Jack know? Mom is my mom, but who does mom know? It's very important you do this, because if you do this, you say, hey, my mom knows someone named Sam and she has a business in technology. Or my mom has a friend named Sam and Sam knows someone who has a business in technology. And that's how you can actually add more people to your list. And the third thing you want to do, guys, you want to network on purpose. There is so many people out there that you can speak to. When I initially started network marketing, I didn't have a list of 1,000 people, but I managed to add people to my list constantly. How did I do this? Well, I went to networking events. If you guys go to networking events, you'll be able to meet like-minded people. You'll be able to meet people who are open to talk to you about their business. You can go to places like the things that you enjoy doing, like hobbies and things like that. You can go to gym. You can go to, dance class if you enjoy dancing, things like that. And usually you will come across conversation where you'll ask them what they do, And if you ask them like, if you ask them what do you love about what you do, you know, they will tell you what they love doing, what they are doing. People love talking about themselves. And if someone has a normal common sense, they will end up asking you what you do. I usually like to tell people, hey, I help people fire their boss. I help people, you know, become financially independent. And when you do this, they will ask you, okay, how do you do this? And this is when you want to change the conversation. And you want to, if you're in a social environment, I like to sometimes tell them, hey, this is, you know, I don't want to go into business talk, you know, in this environment right now, but for sure we can talk about it. And then end up talking about their favorite subject. So change the conversation and speak about them. And just before you leave, you can tell them, hey, listen, you know, what's your number? I'm going to give you some information about myself, and we can discuss how I help people fire the boss in another time. And that's how I add people to the list. And you want to always remember the number 4 thing, which is add 5 contacts to your list every week, minimum, to stay alive. If you do that, in a month, you will have 25 new people added to your list. Not necessarily you're going to recruit them straight away, but you're going to stay in touch with them and find out more about themselves. When you do that, guys, what happens? They become your warm market. They are not your cold market no more. What is warm market? Warm market is someone that you know of them by their name, and that's warm market. Now, can you guys see how easy for you to actually have a list of 1,000 people? Like Stephen, you have 932 people. How many of you have you already spoken to about? How many have you actually reached out to? Because if you have 932 people, you're thinking about how can I finish this list off? How can I go get in touch with them as soon as possible? Because if you do the work, you'll 100%, your mindset is not from a needy mindset. You're thinking of, there's so many people I need to show this business to. So for those of you who don't have 1,000 lists, you need to make 1,000 lists ASAP. Now, once you have a list, what do you do? Once you have a list, what do you do? You need to know your role. As a new member, you need to just pick interest and invite them to a presentation. Now, when I say new member, it goes up to for people who are old members as well. If they're your own people, you do not want to present the business yourself. And I'll explain to you why later on in this call. You just need to invite them to a presentation, and the experienced member should present for you. Now, if you don't have constantly someone who's always there to present for you, you can partner up with your crossline and you can present for each other. It's much, much more powerful. And remember that when you go through your list, it doesn't matter whether they do this business or not. It's all about going through the numbers. And this is what I'm going to come to right now, which is inviting. How do you invite? Once you have the list, how do you invite people effectively? But before you invite people effectively, I just need you to remember these 3 things. That's it. Write it down or take a picture. 3 things. Number 1, you need to remember that they need you more than you need them. You have an opportunity to offer them, not the other way around. We have a golden opportunity that they are not offering you, you are offering them. So you need to have that mindset and you need to have that posture. Doesn't matter how much they are making. If I meet someone who's making 100K a month, I'm still be able to be confident and tell them that there's something the world has to offer them. Because I know in World Global Network, people are making $1 million a month. So for sure, I can be confident and tell them that, you know, this opportunity is for you. Number two thing you need to remember that it's a numbers game. Statistics shows only 3 out of 10 people, guys, are open to opportunity. 3 out of 10 people are open to opportunity. What does that mean? It means that most people are not open to opportunity. Most people should be open to opportunities, but they are not. Because most people rather do a job. Most people rather just do something that doesn't require them to think. Most people like something that is easy. But you got to understand that we chose this industry not for an easy route, but so that we can achieve our goals and dreams. If you want to do something easy, then you do a job. And that's what most people are like, guys. So don't get disappointed when people say no to you. It is what it is. But we are only speaking to the people who are just like you and I, want to achieve their goals and dreams. And that's what we are looking for. And you don't need the 1,000. You only need the few for you to become president millionaire in this company. And number three, you need to remember, you can't say the wrong things to the right person. Sometimes you can do the most amazing presentation and they will say no, because they are not open to an opportunity. Okay, so it's not always about what you say, it's about maybe it's not the right timing for that individual. If they say never call me again, then that's it, you don't speak to them. But they may say, hey, this is not the right moment for me, which is totally fine as well. They will probably come in later on. Now, how do you invite people effectively? Now, if you have a list of 500 people, and I see this all the time, where sometimes someone comes, they have a list, but they never contact. But then you have another group of people who come in and they have a list and they go all out contacting the people. And they contact people and then I'm like, okay, bro, how many people have you contacted? Well, I have contacted everyone. And so how many appointments you have? Oh, I mean, they said they're going to call me back. They said, oh, there will be an appointment. They said next week they are free. I'm like, dude, no one's going to call you back. And you're not getting any appointments. Because there must be something that you're not doing right. As a result, you're not getting the results you're looking for. If you call your first 5, 6 people, and all the 6 people say no to you, don't contact any more people. Speak to your upline, sit down with them, and learn how to invite, or understand where you're going wrong. Don't keep on contacting people if you're getting no result at all. So that means you need a coaching session to understand where you could improve. So I will explain to you guys how you can invite people. And this is just an example of inviting your warm market. The people that are your hot market, you can invite them in a very, very simple way. The people that look up to you, you can also invite them in a very, very simple way. Because sometimes you'll meet someone who has huge influence over other people. If you have influence over other people, you want to use that influence. If there are people in your life that trust you, you want to use that trust. So for example, if I'm inviting my best friend, this is how I would invite them. I would say, hey, listen, bro, there's something that I need to show you, something very important. Can you come down to my house for 20 minutes tomorrow? That's how I'm going to invite them, because I know they trust me and I have influence over them. So you can teach that to someone. If they have trust over someone or they have influence, they can simply invite by saying, hey, I need to show you something important. Can you make yourself available on Friday for 20 minutes? I'm going to send you the address. Can you be 100% sure you're going to be there? And this is how you're going to invite. And then you have the warm market that we spoke about. And this is how you invite them. The 6 fundamentals you need to follow when you invite them. Now, of course, there's many scripts that I can send you guys, but if you just follow this 6 fundamental, you would be a pro at inviting. And if you teach those 6 fundamentals, because scripts, you know, doesn't always go perfectly, because people are people, different people have different thinking. Yeah, so you want to be yourself when you're inviting people. Number 1 thing you got to do when you're inviting people, and I like inviting people over the phone than inviting them over the text, because if I invite someone over the text, they can literally ignore my message. If I call them up and invite them, then they can't ignore, because I can control the conversation. And the more you do it, the more pro you will become. Imagine if you have 800 people on your list, you're gonna be a pro by the time you go on your 50th call. Believe me, you would know exactly what to do and how to control the conversation. Okay, so number 1, you gotta be in a hurry. Now, when I say be in a hurry, I don't mean you need to rush the conversation. I just mean that you have called them up for what? To invite them. And that's the main purpose of your call, nothing else, nothing more. So you got to be in a hurry. Okay? So let me just give you an example of calling someone and being in a hurry. So if I'm calling you, this is what I'd be like, hey, how you doing? Listen, I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it was really important I get hold of you. This is just an example of showing someone that you are in a hurry. Oh, listen, hey, listen, it was very important I get hold of you. I'm running out of the door and going to a meeting right now, but it's important I speak to you. This is an example of being in a hurry. It's very important you do that. Number 2 you want to do is compliment the person. Compliment the person that you just spoke about. People love compliments. People love sincere compliments. So when you give them a compliment, make sure it's sincere and genuine. So for example, if I'm calling Pastor Olewole, this is what I'd be like. I say, hey, Pastor, you've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. This is an example of compliments, because now Pastor, he feels good. He's more open to speak to me, you know? Or you can, you see, he feels good. So if I'm calling, for example, Phil, I'll be like, hey, Phil, you know, you are one of the most amazing business owner that I know of, and I always respected that. You know, he feels good if he's a business owner, and you know that I'm being genuine. Or I could be like, hey, listen, you're one of the most tech savvy person that I know, and I always respected that. This is amazing, you know? So this is what you want to do. You want to compliment the individual. Step 3, make that invitation. When you're making the invitation, it's very important you give value. This is where most people go wrong. They make the invitation, but they don't provide any value for the person to accept the invitation. Every person on this planet wants to know what's in it for them. It is what it is. It is what it is. People want to know what's in it for them. So if you can give them something that they are looking for, they're gonna chase you instead of you chasing them. So let me just give you an example of giving value. This is something that you can do, and you can write it down. This only will work if you know what they want. So let's just say I'm calling Phil, and I tell Phil, let's just say, told me that he's working towards buying a new house, or he's working towards helping his mom or with money, whatever it is. Let's just say he's working towards buying a new car. And this is what I would be like after giving him the compliment. I say, Phil, you know, you told me that you wanted to buy that new car and you're working towards that. Were you serious about buying that car, or you're just joking when you told me? What is Phil going to say? He's going to say, yeah, of course I'm serious. I'm going to wait for his answer. When he says whatever it is, he said, of course I'm serious. This is what I'm going to say. I'm saying, Phil, if there's a way that you can fast track and get that car you want in a much, much quicker period of time, would you want to know how? Would you want to know how? Of course he's going to say yes. So if he says yes, I'm going to move forward. If he says no, I said, no problem, brother. But who's going to say no? Right? So you can also call them up and find out what they are working towards, and you can give them what they want. This is an example of direct approach. Okay? Example of direct approach. Or you can say something like, hey, listen, I think I found a way for us to really boost our income. Would you want to know how? Would you want to know how? Or you can say, you can say so many other things, right? You can say, look, I've just started a new business and I thought you'd be the right person for this. Would you want to know how it can, how this can benefit you? This is an example of direct approach, giving value. The second way of giving value when you're inviting someone is the indirect approach. So the first way we spoke about direct approach, and then you have the indirect approach. Indirect approach, it works for the people that you look up to. It works for the people really well for the people that who they think you should look up to them. So this is what you can say to them. You can say something like, listen, I'm thinking about getting started with a business I can run from my home. Would you help me and check it out and see if it's for real? Or you can say something like, I found a business I'm really excited about, but what do I know? You have so much experience. Would you look at it for me if I made it easy, and let me know if you think if I'm making the right move? This is an example of indirect approach. Now you can use another super indirect approach, more indirect, So this is something that I use a lot for the people who are way successful than me. They're more successful and things like that. This is what you can say. You can say, look, the business I'm in right now clearly isn't for you, but I wanted to ask, who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, and would be excited about the idea of adding more money to their lives? They might say, well, that's me, but you don't say that to them, of course. And this is in a way where you can get contacts from them as well, okay? Or you can say, who do you know that might be looking for a strong business that they could run from their home? So this is an example of an indirect approach. Number 4 thing you need to do, and this is what most people don't do, and I'm going to finish it off very quickly in the next 5 minutes. Number 4, take away the value. When you give them value, we need to take away. If you are doing direct approach, you need to tell them, hey, listen, I don't even know if I can manage to, get an appointment for you. Okay, I don't even know if I can manage to get an appointment for you. I don't even know if this is 100% for you. Or I don't even know if this is 100% will fit in terms of what we are looking for. And number 5, you invite them. You can't invite them, make the appointment. You say, if I invite you for Thursday at 4 p.m., would you be able to make yourself free for 20 minutes? The key word is if I invite you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for a Zoom call, would you be able to clear out your schedule and come and plug into the call and clear all the distraction and make sure you listen? When they say yes, if you do 1, 2, 3, and 4 correctly, they will say yes on number 5. 100% they will say yes. Most people will say yes. And number 6, you double confirm it. You say, okay, just to confirm that you'll be there at 5 o'clock, I'm gonna make sure you're on my calendar. Okay? So this is very important. This is an example of inviting people. Of course, there's many ways you can invite. And this is some of the questions that you may come across. People may say, oh, is it going to cost money? And you can take a screenshot of what you're seeing right now. You can let them know, look, everything costs money. Just leave your wallet at home, or everything costs money. This is not that type of business. And remember, I can't guarantee or promise you anything. Okay? Now, this is an example for people. Again, you can take a screenshot of this. For the person that you haven't met for a very long time and you know if they are hugely potential and you want to meet them, okay? And you can literally go and meet them just to catch up. And when you meet them, don't go straight into business, but rather have a conversation with them and figure out what they are looking for. So you can take a screenshot of this and actually use this. This really worked for me when I used it. Now, of course, another way to invite, you have the 5 questions. Now, this really works, guys, but you really need to use it. And if you use it over the phone, it works really well. You guys already know the 5 questions, so I'm not going to go through it right now. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the edification. This is something that I see it a lot in the organization, that people don't edify each other at all. You see, edification is so important. 80% of someone signing up to your business depends on how well you've done your edification. When I initially got involved in network marketing, the friends that I knew, they trusted me, but they didn't respect me. My own brother, Munir, he trusted me, but he never respected me in terms of business. And this is what it is. My mom, she trusts me, but she doesn't trust me in terms of, being a credible figure in terms of what I do. She'd still teach me how to do things. And this is very normal. This is why you need to edify somebody else and put off the pressure of yourself. Because when you edify someone, what happens is that your guest, your friend, will listen to them. Like, have you ever had a moment where you're telling your kids something and your kids don't listen? But then the same thing some other parents told them, and now they listen. Because why? Because they when it comes from somebody else, people value it much more. Think of your spouse. There's many things you'd say to them, they probably won't listen, but somebody else said the same thing, they'll end up listening and say, you know, have you listened to this? This is very credible. So this is why it's very important you edify when you introduce someone. So if I'm doing a presentation for Hans, or if I'm doing a presentation for Riaz, Riaz has to edify me, otherwise I'm just another guy. If Riaz is presenting for my guest, I'm gonna make sure I edify Riaz very well. And if Steven is my guest, or let's just say Steven is the one who's gonna be presenting the business for my guest, Riaz, this is how I would edify. I'd be like, Riaz, today we are very lucky, bro, because we have someone very incredible, very credible in this business, doing extremely well. He's a great leader, helping so many people right now, helping so many people, and he's the person who has 100% of the information. And the great thing is that it's very hard for me to get hold of, for anyone to get hold of Stephen, because he's very, very busy all the time. So we are very lucky to have 20 minutes of Stephen's time with us. And the reason he's here today is because I invited him here, is because I know how serious you are, Riaz, and I wanted to show you. And I told him that, and he agreed. So Riaz, this is Stephen. Not the other way around, where I'd be like, hey, Stephen, listen, I've got Riaz. Riaz is a great business owner. He knows so many people. When he signs up, he's going to kill it. He's going to sign up everybody. Please, please, please show him the vision. Teach him everything, because this is the guy. Not the other way around, guys. Okay? If I have someone who's making 500,000, right? Or someone who is insanely successful and I think they can benefit from joining World, I'm gonna make sure I edify Stephen, even though Stephen may not have the success as the person that I'm introducing right now, because he has to listen to that person. Right now, I don't even present to my guests. I make sure I get my brother to present for my guests. I make sure I edify my brother. Right now, even though I'm successful, I don't, even though I'm president, I don't present to my own friends. It's not possible. So it's very important you edify your uplines, edify your the person that you're speaking to. And the more you can do, the more you edify, the more better you will become. It's very important, guys. It's very, very important. And I see very rare in World Global Network right now, people don't edify each other. So hopefully you guys will take action in terms of the training that took place today, because without action, it means nothing. You know, if you don't take action, it's just motivation, or it's just a hobby that you're doing on the side. Believe me, the right time to take action in World is right now. Because the same opportunity you have right now in your hand won't be the same 6 months later. It is what it is. Because you're the pioneer. You're the pioneer. You are the person who can decide how many people you want in your organization. Because believe me, some of you said you have 500 people on your list. Some of you said you have 1,000 people. I will get to your list. I will get to your list somehow. If I don't know them directly, someone from the team will know them and get them. I have my 1,000 list, and believe me, some of the people that is in your list is in my list too. So it depends on how quickly we work towards that list and go through. So thank you guys for being on the call, and hopefully we can connect more. If you guys need any kind of support, reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help. Let's get some results, guys, and let's make things happen. See you guys soon. And is there anything else, Munir, you want to cover? If he's on there. No, I think that's about it. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. See you guys.